hello. Wow.
Hello.
It's been a while.
It has.
For us, recording-wise.
For us, yes.
But welcome. This is episode 58 of the NgoVo Convo podcast, where two stupids make a Am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
See, that's right.
It's hype.
Yeah, and I'm right. So, it goes both ways. I'm one of your hosts, NgoVo, and I'm joined by Harrison. No, he's over there.
Hello.
Over there.
Hello.
If you're new here, we just both want an excuse to talk about anything that ranges from anime to comics, because some would say it's conversing, like NgoVo Convo,
NgoVo Convo, like right above there in the top left corner of the video.
The logo, yeah. Kind of weird. It's just there everywhere.
Always. If you watch on YouTube or Spotify, yes.
Yeah, anywhere. Yeah. You can watch every episode on youtube.com or listen to it as a podcast by searching NgoVo Convo on your podcast service of choice. We're everywhere. 10 platforms. Everywhere. And in this episode, if you haven't noticed by the title, we're going to be talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, Season 1.
I didn't notice the title.
Wow,
I was not prepared for this.
Yeah. And if you haven't finished the series, it's just 6 episodes. About 40-50 minutes each, on average. So, that could be like a day for you to wrap that up. Come back to us in a day or two after you watched it. Click on pause, keep continuing into this episode, because it's going to be a good one, as always. And by the way, we are sponsored by Anchor, which we'll get into later. But Harrison, non-spoiler thoughts. What did you expect out of this before coming in? How did you feel about it? Vibes? What vibes were you getting?
I was very excited, very hyped, super hyped, because it was Obi-Wan and it was like Ewan McGregor.
Yep.
Right? And we saw a promo of Hayden Christensen, so that hyped me up even more so.
Daddy Vader has become a hashtag.
Really? Have I missed this?
Yeah, it's because Hayden is a dad. If no one knew that, so
legitimately. Okay.
Legitimately a dad. So they keep calling him Daddy Vader, and it's very weird.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And you continue.
Anyway,
Hayden. Yeah.
So overall, it again follows that thing of Disney's formula. Which will be another episode. We'll get into that. We'll talk. Yeah. We'll probably vent about it or just discuss it. I will probably vent, but it's a discussion. But essentially, it kind of follows the same trend. So I was able to kind of predict how the plot would go.
Yeah.
In a sense, it was initially not slow, but it was just building up to a point, middle plot, boom, and then low, and then boom again.
Yeah.
It was cool to see. Essentially, Ewan McGregor just be Obi-Wan for
the entire
time
series, yeah.
And overall, I had fun seeing. It was so fun to. I would like to rewatch this again in one run, which I probably will do with my fiance, because she hasn't seen it yet.
Soon to be wife.
Is this why we're recording it? It took us a while for recording stuff. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. We'll probably. Most likely we'll rewatch it at that point, because I liked it, but I also don't know if I liked it for specific reasons.
Okay, well, which we'll get into probably in the spoiler.
But when it was high, it was really cool.
It was really cool.
It was really cool. I will say that all this stuff is still really cool to see. There, I think we'll touch on it. Why? I think the highs were high. I have gripes on certain things, which we will get into for spoilers, because I think it's one glaring thing, and I think most people will agree on that one. And but otherwise,
I know what we're talking about,
I think it was fun. It was fun. It was cool to see Obi-Wan. Cool to see Ewan McGregor reprise the role, as for others as well. So it was fun.
It was good.
What about you?
No, I totally agree. So we're not big Star Wars fan, but we're fans.
I should have added that. We're
fans.
We watched all the movies. We watched all the shows. I've played most of the games.
I have not.
You have not? That's an issue. No, I'm just kidding.
It is an issue.
And I've read some of the comics. I've read some of the Vader comics as well, because those are actually really cool. I didn't read the extended universe. I've read some stuff on Wiki back then.
Oh, yeah.
As like a college, or high schooler, college person with no money. So I read some stuff to get a better idea. Right. I don't know what you did with that, though. With the extent. Or what do you call it? Legends now?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what they call it now. I've only seen panels of the Darth Vader comics, and I thought they were really cool. Because they resurfaced during this series.
Yes.
Basically.
For sure.
But yeah, no, everything you've pointed out, I've agreed with. I think when we get into spoiler territory, we'll just get into everything, we've liked and disliked. But overall, I was very hyped for Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's been hyped for the past year because they've been...
For sure the past year. It's been hyped for
a long
couple
time.
Years.
Yeah. And I think they filmed this during COVID, the high of COVID. So I think they were just ready to just drop this whenever. But yeah, I totally agree. But before we get into spoiler territory, we're just going to drop in our ads. So we're going to take a quick break, talk about our sponsors. On today's episode, we are sponsored by Anchor. It is a free podcast hosting service that we actually use. We've been using Anchor since we've started the podcast. It's because there are creation tools that allow us to record and edit the podcast right from our phones and computers. A huge plus for us is that Anchor would distribute our podcast to all platforms such as Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, and many more. It really is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one spot. Please download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm, anchor.fm to get started. Oh my gosh, and we're back. Wow, that was a quick... Fat? Yeah. Oh. I'm just kidding. Okay. So, let's get into... You know what? We're gonna do cons first. Cons. It's spoiler. Okay, we're gonna... Spoiler territory now. Yes. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna start... See, oh wow, that was good. Magical hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna do a little different. We're gonna do the cons, the gripes. Harrison, give me your cons, give me your gripes about the show. What you didn't like.
Okay. I want to at least say I thought Kid Leia was she did well. Honestly, she did fine.
Yes.
I don't have as much gripes with her specifically. I think as a character, it makes sense. They want to pull in how her character is, just show she's had these these adventures, just these
as a kid.
As a kid, she was essentially the same as how she was in the 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
I did not like how somehow plot force is super strong. Again, we know they have to survive. I understand that. I totally get it. But that one, I think episode 1, right? Or
the running scene.
The running scene. I got super annoyed with that because all of a sudden they just go dumb. All the bounty hunters are like, "Oh no, how do I catch this girl? She just ran under a tree. What do I do?"
It was like she was running 5 miles per hour. And then,
she's
her little legs were just and then, everyone else was, doing long strides, but, pausing in between it.
Yeah.
So. Or when she ducked under the tree, one guy, ran into the tree on purpose to, fall. And I was just
because he didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
That was, the biggest thing that I noticed. And it's just one of those things where... It kind of happened with I think episode 2 as well, when they're on that in the city. I forget planets because I'm bad. Names are hard, but
that's on brand for us. We don't.
She was also running around.
Yeah,
and it not as apparent, but it's also some moments where I was just like, "It's happening again." Is this the rest of the show?
Because Princess Leia is going to survive this.
She has to survive canonically.
Yes.
Just has to happen. And I understand
it just makes sense that she needs to be alive throughout this entire series. Same with Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that was the other, not a huge gripe, but I did have this thing where we feel like everyone has to live anyway because the movies has to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm not really like. We'll kind of touch on it, but essentially there's like a lot of fights between him and, spoiler alert, Vader.
Oh yeah, what we forgot to say was that this series is after 1, 2, 3, which is the prequel. So it's 10. Yes. It takes 10 years. Yeah, but before 4. Yeah, yeah. If you're not like a true Star Wars fan and you don't get the order, it's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, no, I totally agree with that. That's one con that I would agree with. Is there another?
Do you have a con?
So, okay, we're going to talk about Reva, who is a new character. Basically the third sister. That's like her like character, like not her name, but like her like title basically. Third sister, yeah.
Yeah.
I like her. She was like a good character overall. I think the staring into like the abyss did it for me. I don't, because she did a lot of glaring. Like she did a lot of glaring.
A lot. Okay, I get what you mean. She did a lot of staring.
Like staring, glaring, kind of like moment. I thought she was gonna break the fourth wall and like stare at the camera at one point because she was staring so much, but she didn't. And
no.
And I was just like, oh, okay, thank God they didn't do like a fourth wall like break here and just like have her stare at us and just be like kind of awkward.
Yeah.
But I think the way, and I'm not talking about like the actress herself. I think she did a great job. I think it was just in a short amount of time to set up Reva. I thought it was rushed.
It was very rushed.
It was very rushed, yeah.
Which again goes back to the 6-episode issue, I think.
Yes. And there were a lot of like twists with her too. And you're just like, I was shocked because I didn't play the games or watch. And I think you have to know Clone Wars a little bit to understand where Reva's coming from.
What do you mean? Like the twist how she was the young lady?
Yeah. Like the Order 66 portion.
Yeah, I think...
You do need to watch Clone Wars, because I had to look that up.
For sure need to watch Clone Wars. Yeah. I don't think you need to play the games and such. You do need to know... But I think it helps when you know the... I forgot... like the brothers and sisters. Like, like first... Like, they are like that whole Inquisitors.
Yeah.
So, it does help when you watch like that one, the Rebel show. Because they're in that.
Oh, they're in that.
They're in that. That's when they get introduced. And they were also they were also pulled into the comics as well with Vader. But the I guess the twist doesn't always have to happen because it's like they're not always, or I guess here's why I'm not entirely sure. It's just always been known like Inquisitors are Force sensitive and they could have been previous Jedis or previous like Padawans and all this stuff, masters that get turned. Was that the twist?
I totally understand that. Like you used to be a part of something and then you kind of got turned because of Vader. Yeah. I just think Reva as a character, introducing her this late in the Star Wars like story, you know, like because there's been so many like paths that's been in movies, games, like comics and TV shows. I just think 6 episodes was not enough Reva for me.
Like to build up to that point?
Yeah, to build up to that point.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. But it's not the actress's fault. She did a great job.
No, she was
minus
fine.
The staring sometimes, but other than that, it's just the character development was like too quick for me.
Yeah.
And you could say that a lot about any Disney Plus show, really. I'm just picking at this one because it's just it
felt apparent.
It just felt like it was there, you know?
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah, and I think that's the hard part with the Star Wars franchise, where you know the big moments that will happen. This is definitely just like a story in between, and I also kind of agree. Like her arc was pretty fast. I kind of suspected at some point. but I think I also got spoiled by someone talking about it, and it wasn't. No. So it wasn't any of them like talking about it. They're like, look at this poster. If you go back and look at the posters,
okay.
If you pay attention to
the eye, right?
I think the eye, and you see who they're looking at. Like if you see Vader, the reflection is Obi-Wan. If you see Obi-Wan, the reflection is Vader. And most of the evil people or the villains have a reflection of Obi-Wan. He was the only one that had a reflection of Vader. I saw that by accident, and I was like, yeah. I was like, who knows? It wasn't like to me a big deal.
So it's just like a theory that you saw.
It was a theory at the time, but based on the posters, true. Like based on official posters. But now I know it's true. I was like, okay, cool. Kind of saw that.
Yeah.
My gripe was not that her arc specifically. It was the end.
Okay.
No, twice. And I've watched enough Star Wars theory like videos on YouTube that I'm like, okay, we had to suspend some disbelief. But also it gets weird with canon. She got stabbed.
Yes.
Then she also stabbed the Grand Inquisitor.
Yes.
Which doesn't make sense to me still. If that was not an issue.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Qui-Gon, okay, we're just going by movie and TV shows. Qui-Gon technically should have survived.
Yes. Oh, I see.
So I've heard, and this is not me being versed, but I did read some people that like some lore masters talk about it, and they're talking about how like I forgot the word or like the phrase that they call it, but essentially it's like most Jedi or most adept Jedi can have some force, like not field, but like force aura around them, which helps them prevent from getting hurt by like lightsaber like accident, like quick crazies or something like that. So if you're better with the force, you're able to like control that a bit better. So technically you can then claim the Grand Inquisitor can do that
because he did get stabbed.
Yeah. What?
Okay, I see what you're.
And then we have Reva, who survived twice. Then
she survived twice. Yeah.
As a youngling, and then now when she's older.
When she's older.
But it also ties. This is where a plus I get is that this is where you kind of have to dig deeper. I think this is just this is not based off like. This is based on like other videos, and I wish I knew which one, but I watched too many at this point to remember. But essentially, they always call Reva as like the worst or like the weakest of all of them because she was like a youngling. Yeah. So she never actually had formal training, or she had training, but not like Padawan level or even like Jedi Knight level.
Knight level, yeah.
So
I totally get that. Okay, interesting.
But then that ties into like. Why did she survive?
How did she survive? Twice.
Yeah, like if she was a youngling, I think she would have straight up been dead. But again, I don't know.
That's true. I actually do have one more gripe.
Yeah, what's it?
Tala dying in episode 5. They rogue one her. She was like my favorite, like helper, and they just cut her. They said bye.
Had to have some emotional like conflict.
I was so sad when she bombed herself with the robot because the robot was dying too.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh no, I know where this is going.
Attachment issues.
I have attachment issues now. Star Wars always does that to me. I get attached and then they rip it away from me.
Yeah, it was. I like her. Her character was really cool. I think it was a very really good cool. like segue of showing like the gray area between like how they joined the Imperials because they truly believed they could help, but then they start learning they're not. So I liked her character a lot. I liked her character a lot. I think jumping off of that gripe, my other thing was, and it was something that I didn't really bother with, but it was more like my roommate that was really bothered by it. Yeah. But he was like, in that fight, we lost like 5 farmers, rebels, or something like that. Let's say 5, but we lost so many stormtroopers.
Yeah, they lost I think maybe 5 to 10 dropped.
Yeah.
And then like stormtroopers, there were like 50.
It's
just like on the ground.
And he was so bothered by it, and I was just like, "Hey man, just saying, stormtrooper aim sucks. Remember?" He's like,
"The math ain't mathin'."
But yeah, he's like, "But that doesn't make sense. Even though they have bad aim, there are like 50 plus. If you just shoot, they're bound to hit people."
But
I was like, plot force, man. Stormtrooper aim.
Yeah, exactly.
I just thought it was funny.
Any other gripes, cons, anything else you didn't like?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay, cool. Because we're gonna go into what we really liked. And what did you really like?
So given how much time we've had, I think how they handled Obi-Wan's arc with how he had to deal with the loss of Anakin, but also the resurgence of Anakin was really good. I thought that was a very nice
I totally
follow
agree.
through story. I think that was a nice thing that like overarching story that we could.
That was smooth too, because you could tell like he was like mourning, and then when he finds out Vader's alive, basically Anakin's alive, and then it's just like at the end it was just like, okay, my friend is dead.
My friend is dead, and which then he could say, which then. It leads into him being able to say, as when he was older, Vader killed Anakin.
Yep.
Vader killed your dad. I was like, because it happened, it said it right there.
Yeah, it said it right there. No, I totally agree with that.
What do you think of the fight?
I was just going to say, I think all the fights between Vader and Obi-Wan, and Anakin and Obi-Wan, like the flashbacks, they were so good. And they paralleled each other so well.
Yes.
And I think that was amazing. And they didn't blue ball us with Obi-Wan saber.
They
for too long.
I mean, we didn't get the saber until like what?
I think 2, right? 2
end of 2?
End of 2 or start
of
3?
No. It has to be 3. No, it has to be 3. But he was using it to like light it up. But you could tell like how Obi-Wan's like older. Because it's been, like 10 plus years or so like that, right?
Well, and the actor is older, too, so...
Yeah. No, he's older, but he doesn't look that much older.
He does not look that
still cool, right. Which is still crazy. Like, for sure, Hayden Christensen looks older.
Yes, and they had to, like, fake deep him a little bit in that flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to fake it a little bit. But I was really happy to see Hayden. That flashback was really nice.
It was
like really nice,
crazy cool to see.
Yeah, it was.
Like, this is fun
because it brought me back to like 1, 2, 3, and just like how his training arc was and how he was like back then, and it was really nice.
And it's cool because like a lot of the exposure we have for Disney Plus shows has mainly been either post 4, 5, 6 or now in between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But it's always been like that era, but I think it was cool to see this flashback of like during the prequels era.
Yeah.
Seeing Coruscant and all that stuff.
Which people have been shitting on for the last 20 years up until now. Now people are on the bandwagon of we love the prequel.
It's because we have something worse.
What you mean? The prequels and 4, 5, 6 only exist. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I've accepted and acknowledged. But no, and can we also add how menacing Vader is?
Yes.
Like and this entire show.
And I think Hayden just had the chance to just go all out this time.
Yes.
Literally, like he could just do whatever.
Because like even when his initial like encounter with Obi-Wan, like it was crazy how like one, it's a good reminder like he's majority robot. And like every time he fights,
tall as shit. He is like 6 something. He has to be. He towers over.
Hold on. I thought
Obi-Wan. He's like 6 something, right? Or are they the same height? Or is it the boots? It's something, but he's tall.
Hold on. I like how that's like the third question is Hayden Christensen's height.
What is his height?
6 foot.
Oh my god, he just and like
then
it's that Vader suit, I swear.
Ewan McGregor's 5'10".
Okay.
So it adds.
No, but yeah.
I think it's a suit too. I think it's a suit too. But no, it was just crazy cool to see like Vader just go all out and like just fight. And I think even like the last fight was cool, But I think the one that wowed me the most was him and Reva. When Reva decided to attack.
Yeah. And that was a parallel to the flashback, because he learned stuff from that flashback to do what he did with Reva.
Yeah.
And that was just, I was like, wow.
Like, instead of having to do, like, any lightsaber, he mainly used the Force. Because he did not, for 1 second, he did not pull out his lightsaber.
Nope. He did.
And he mad disrespected her. He's like, really give me your lightsaber. Breaks apart. Here's yours. Bites. Beats. Pulls back. Stabs.
That was basically a fight.
I was like, damn, she's getting owned. This is so cool.
Exactly. But that last episode, the Vader versus Obi-Wan, that was cool too, because his mask is like out.
Like, it got cut off. And it shows
Hayden. And like, and the voice thing goes between Vader and Hayden's voice. And I was like,
it's so cool.
Oh, this is like a flashback all around again. Like, he's just, you know what? Vader is a menacing villain, but deep down, I think he's just broken. He's truly just 100%. A broken, like, because he lost his family. Like, he lost love of his life. He just literally lost everything, and now he's just a menace to the galaxy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Literally.
And I think it was just cool to see, like, him be able to go all out. And I think the other cool, I think not exactly gripe, I think I just had questions about how the order could have happened. But then again, it's just Reva's, so going back to the moment when Reva tries to backstab Vader. It was cool to see him just pull that ship down.
Yep.
He's just like, I was like, oh, it's so cool.
Oh my
and he just rips it apart. I was like, oh, so much power. But then, like, the ship left, and I was kind of confused on that one.
I think it was a ship within the ship.
It was ship within the ship. Okay.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell if it was the ship behind it or how would they know. But then at that point, I guess I was also confused. I'm like, you just pulled down the ship. Why didn't you just go another one? But again, who knows?
Yeah.
Not a big deal. But then at that point, I was confused. I think this is where my roommate made a good point, and he was like, "Why didn't Reva attack at that point?" And then it would make more sense if Reva attacked at that point, and his focus would be off. And then all of a sudden that ship leaves.
Yeah.
But they don't coordinate that. You don't know.
Yeah.
So
we'll never know.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, the last fight was really cool with all Obi-Wan like using
the Force again and
pulling all the rocks.
The rocks, yeah.
Can I say it was cool? We spoke of this because
we did, and I feel like I know what you're talking about. But I'll let you say it.
Can we say how cool it was to see Qui-Gon at the end?
Yes.
It was so cool. I was like, wow, because that definitely felt nostalgic because it was both of them at that point. Yeah. And
it was nice.
Wow, that's crazy.
How'd you feel about the hello there phrase?
It's come full circle.
Full circle. Hello there.
I think I sent you a TikTok and it was
you did.
IGN, and they like mashed up like the Clone Wars one, this one, and then the 4 with the original Obi. I can't remember his name. Ben Kenobi.
Yeah. No, it was cool, and then it matched like the hello there, and you could just it was nice. It was so like, nice.
Perfect. It was I think overall it had like it had a lot of high moments. I think there were a lot of people had some gripes about the show. I did too, but I don't think I hate it as much. I think I still had a lot of fun with it overall. Oh, I think I can also kind of understand why people had some gripes about Leia. She's very funky.
She is, but I think it reflects how Leia is.
Yeah. Oh, can I add how it hurt to hear her be like when they're on episode 3 or part 3? She was like, "Are you my father?" I was like, "Oh no!" I was like,
"Oh no!"
And he was like, "No, but I know who it is." I was like, "Oh,
do you know my mother?" Yes.
It was so sad. I was like, "Oh, that hurts."
Yeah, it did.
But then it was also cool to see Luke at the end too.
Yes, it was. For a little bit.
I guess I just have questions. And I've seen this online. If they both have interacted with Obi-Wan at some point, then that means the way they interacted for is not actually
correct. Yeah, I was just
which is hard. Which is a hard way to play off, I think.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think overall it was a good season. I mean, we'll get into the whole Disney Plus formula shows later in the summer, but
yeah,
I think that was like a big issue that Disney needs to fix.
They won't, in my opinion, they won't fix it though.
Yeah, we'll see because She-Hulk is 9 episodes, but we're kind of like ranting off about that.
We'll see. Yeah, that's a whole nother spiel.
Yeah, Harrison, you have any other closing thoughts?
I like Ewan McGregor, and I would like to have more, but I don't think we need it.
I don't think so. His story has come full circle.
Yeah,
in
I don't think we need
with
it.
the prequels, like after
because there is another scene that happens in, I think, I forgot if it was Rebels or Clone Wars, but it deals with Ben Kenobi as well. Just saying.
But I mean, I truly think this like ties together.
But this ties, yeah. This leads everything into it. I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good. We don't need a season 2.
But if it happens, cool, I guess. But I don't think we need it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see where it goes if there is a season 2. But yeah, I agree. I don't have anything else.
Nothing else from me.
Nothing else. Well, thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon at NgoVo Convo and NgoVo Convo. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button and the notification bell to get updates for when we upload, and subscribe. It's a big red button down there below me. And the bell is next to it.
Yeah.
Let us know how we're doing. What do you want to see next? What do you want us to watch, read, play? Review, rewatch. We've been doing a lot of that lately. But yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.